Hey there, horror fans. It's your buddy Phil here, and I'm back at it today with another live stream. What is going on this Wednesday? Hope all in the chat are doing well. What is going on, horror fan Ricky? Good morning to you as well. Yes, I am also drinking coffee. It's coffee time. What's up, Cody? What's up, David? What's up, Paul? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Waving the leaf? We're waving carrots? What is that? What are you waving? Carrots? So I had a productive morning. I got Mark's box all packed up, ready to ship. I saw your Vestron stack on your Insta. Well, you're going to see it up close and personal today. I'm going to go through those. Yep. I got them stacked right here. For all you good people today, liking the Motel Hell shirt. Love it. I love it. Everyone's saying hi to everybody else. That's what I like to see in my chat. Support each other's channels. Gonna do a bit of ASMR with this bubble wrap for a second. This bubble wrap doesn't pop. There's one. Strongest bubble wrap ever. Probably freaking my cat out right now. I just scratched myself. I think that's got them all. That bubble wrap was taking up way too much time. Way too much room, so it's garbage. I got one saved for later, guys, so more fun for later. You rock, Phil. Thank you so much, David. You rock too. Pop, pop goes the weasel, the weasel. Pop, pop goes the weasel, the weasel. Pop, pop goes the weasel, the weasel. Pop goes the weasel because the weasel goes pop. Some old third base for you. What's up, Casey? Good morning to you as well. Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's everybody saying? Only 5 people watching on a Wednesday? 5 people watching on a Wednesday. I'm going to go turn down the heat. Hopefully my room cools down. Super Dark Times. What's up, Robbie Richards? Glad you could make it today. Super Dark Times. That looks familiar. 2017. Maybe not. I will check it out for sure. Watched it a couple years ago. Yeah, the cover looks familiar, but just got back from Dunkin's, got my coffee and breakfast sandwich, LOL. Well, cheers to you, Sir Haddonfield Slasher. Some good old Maxwell House this morning. First up, the one that started it all, number 1. These are all numbered on the spine of the slipcover. And it is Shopping Mall. And it says, where shopping costs you an arm and a leg. All of these are same cover artwork on the inside, so I'm not going to show the insides of all of them. But it says the future has arrived at Park Plaza Mall, where state-of-the-art security robots are installed as the new automated night watchman. When an errant bolt of lightning short-circuits the main computer control, these protector robots turn into killbots, which was the original title for this. On the Loose and Hunting for Human Lives, directed by Jim Wynorski. Chopping Mall, aka Killbots, is one of the most beloved cult classics of the 1980s and is presented here fully restored from original negative materials and loaded with a shopping cart full of killer bonus features. So basically what it is teens kind of break into this mall to party all night or something along those lines, and the mall has installed these security robots, but a bolt of lightning turns them into killbots, and they shoot lasers and try and kill everyone inside the mall. But yeah, a lot of fun. I remember seeing that when I was very young. Cody says, hey Dave, still working, so won't be too chatty. Dave says, I could go for some Timbits and hot chocolate. Robbie says, what's up, Cody? Robbie says, sounds good, Dave. Paul says, fun movie. Cody says, hey Slash. Cody says, working. Ricky says, hey Slash and Cody. Cody says, hey Ricky. Robbie says, hey horror fan. Hey horror fan. Hey there, horror fans. It's your buddy Phil. Definitely a movie for the 80s. Couldn't remake that one. They're trying. There's currently a Chopping Mall remake in the works, I believe. Yeah, I believe they're trying to remake Chopping Mall. Product status in development. Ricky says, hey Slasher, I tried joining your channel, but I can't add you. Robbie says, let me check. David says, Chopping Mall, Johnny 5 gone awry. Johnny 5. Paul says, anyone remember that You Are Afraid episode, The Pinball Wizard with the Boy Trapper in the Mall? I don't remember that. The one I always think of in the mall with the arcade is the Emilio Estevez in the movie Nightmares. Cody says, got the kitty litter robot ad when I came in here. Hope that don't mean it's going to be a shitty video. Roll laughing. I don't know. I don't pick my ads. You don't get to pick your ads. Next up, number 2. Blood Diner. First, they greet you, then they eat you. And it says, grab a table at the Blood Diner, a cut above the rest. The Nam Tut brothers run the most popular restaurant in town. Popular, that is, if you're the country corner. The head chef has a real human touch with this special recipes. A killer lineup of delicacies made from human flesh. One of the most insane and over-the-top horror comedies ever made. Blood Diner is presented here fully uncut, restored from original vault materials, and features a buffet of tasty new supplemental features you'll just die for. That is Blood Diner. Crazy uncle killer gets killed and his nephews resurrect him. And then they have to kill people for him or something to that extent. They keep his brain alive in a jar or something like that. But I like it. I like it a lot. Blood Diner. Paul says the Killbot always reminds me of the Dilac from Doctor Who. Yep. Ben says, I remember reading the Chrome Skull guy was remaking Chopping Mall with no robots. It was going to be mannequins possessed by ghosts. That's interesting. Let's see if that does say the director of Laid to Rest. Robert Hall. Yep, Laid to Rest. Chrome Skull guy. Ricky says, I want to eat at Blood Diner. I wonder if they make good food. LOL. Heavy Metal is in the house, and they say hi. Hi back to you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well today. Next up, a double feature. Waxwork and Waxwork 2 Lost in Time. What's up, Josh? Waxwork and Waxwork 2 Lost in Time. Double feature. You do have kind of just Waxwork Part 1 cover art there. I think the reverse is the Waxwork 2 cover art. If I remember correctly, yes, I am right. Each movie comes on its own disc, which is nice. And Waxwork says, inside the Wax Museum, a group of teenagers are aghast of the hauntingly lifelike wax displays of Dracula, the Wolfman, the Mummy, and other charter members of the Horror Hall of Fame. Each display is perfectly grotesque, yet each is missing one thing, a victim. Admission to the Waxwork was free, but now they may pay with their lives. One by one, the students are drawn into the settings as objects of the bloodthirsty creatures. They are now part of the permanent collection. I really, really like the first Waxwork. I actually have right there the Waxwork statue from Nameless Media. Then we have Waxwork 2 Lost in Time, which stars that one terrorist from Die Hard, the guy that's hanging at the end by the chain and then gets shot by the cop at the end. Having escaped the fiery destruction of the original Waxwork, Mark and Sarah face another grueling ordeal in Waxwork 2 Lost in Time when Sarah is accused of murdering her stepfather. Fleeing through the doors of time in a desperate search for proof of her innocence, the two lovers find themselves caught in the eternally recurring battle between good and evil. Together they must stop one of the most powerful and demonic figures of all time, Lord Scarabus. So a couple cool Waxwork movies there. If you haven't seen the Waxwork movies, I recommend that you do. Paul will check for Blood Diner. Yes, watch Blood Diner. David says the Bozo brownies taste funny. Ricky says, okay, at Slasher. Heavy Metal, cool DVD. Thank you so much. Josh, a Fulci fan 101 says, love Waxwork 2, especially the Dawn of the Dead scene. Yeah, that one's good. I like where, Herbert West is hanging and it's black and white, ghost story or whatever, and she keeps throwing stuff at his open chest, like salt and stuff. By the way, everyone go check out Josh Fulci Fan 101's channel. Give him a visit and show him some love. He has a pretty extensive collection that you should watch. Paul says, first waxwork is a fave of mine. Second is bad, but I like the Hell House bit. Bruce Campbell. Bruce Campbell, yeah, not Herbert West. Ricky says, okay, I add myself to your channel, Slasher. Slasher says, I'm still waiting for my waxwork records. Jason Takes Manhattan record to get here, LOL. I've seen some other people unbox that, and it's a great looking record. Robbie says, thumbs up. Robbie says, I'll add you. Cody says, took me a while to get my Jason 8 record. Ben says, the Marquis de Sade was the best in waxwork. I really like the Marquis de Sade one, but I like the werewolf one a little better. Glenn has joined in the fun. What's up, Phil? Not much, Glenn. Hope you're good. Robbie says, I was already subscribed to you, horror fan, LOL. You're subbed to my channel. Josh says, I only have one current video, but not many comments, but that doesn't bother me. I thought you had more than one. My bad. Everyone go visit Josh's channel anyway. He's an awesome duder. David says, it's been a while since I've seen waxwork, but the werewolf scene sticks out. Yeah, the werewolf scene's awesome. Ging has entered into the fun watching ads, Phil. She's always watching the ads. Ricky says, okay, cool, Slasher. Gang says, thumbs up, done. Thank you, thank you. If you have not already, hit that thumbs up button. Show some love to the live stream. Robbie says, I haven't done a video in a while, but I will soon. Josh says, be right back. Got to tend to the cat. Oh, the cat, the cat. Return of the Living Dead 3. The last of the good Return of the Living Deads, in my opinion. Love the cover artwork there. You have some more pictures there. And it says, in Return of the Living Dead Part 2, the chemical trioxin turned people into flesh-eating zombies. Now the government is trying to control these unstoppable cannibalistic killers in Return of the Living Dead 3. When a young man uses the chemical to bring his girlfriend back to life after a motorcycle accident, she is driven to eat the only thing that will nourish her: human brains. She tries to stop her own feeding frenzy, but a chain reaction has already begun as hordes of undead are unleashed from their graves. From their graves. Return of Living Dead 3. That is number 4. Numero 4. David says, hi, Gings. Glenn says, what's up, Slasher? Ging says, 2 minutes ads, Phil. I don't do anything with the ads, so I can't control if they're 2 minutes or what. Horror fan Ricky says, David needs to sign up for America's Got Talent. Dave has an awesome singing voice. Yes, and he's great on the keyboard as well. The guy is full of talent. Ging says, miss you, Phils. I'm right here. You don't have to miss me. Paul says the werewolf scene is amazing. One of the best transformation scenes, in my opinion, when he gets shot changing. I agree with that. David says, you're too kind, Ricky. Anthony has arrived. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning to you as well. Paul says, but then I haven't seen many werewolf movies. Gang says, shout out David Horror. Gang says, Mega Loves shout out. Oh, she's getting serious with the Mega Loves shout out. Josh says, I've got Return 3 coming in the mail. My first Vestron Blu-ray title. You will love it, Josh. You will love it. Paul says, brains. Q's Reviews has entered into the fun. Hey, hey, all. I made it. Also liked and shared. Glenn says, yes, sir, Phil. Return of Living Dead 3. One of the good ones. Always seen that at the video store. Thanks for letting me hold you hostage. Glenn, whenever I watch your videos, I always wait for you to say that. I like that. David says, I don't think I've seen Return of Living Dead 3. You should. Josh says, hello to you all. Hello, Josh. Gang says, I think all here are done connected before. Ricky says, I just bought American Werewolf in London 4 days ago at Walmart for $5. Yeah. I have the new Steelbook coming from Diabolic DVD at some point. I don't know when it's released. It's on pre-order, I think, for February or some shit like that. Robbie says, me too, Dave. Ging says, the Q's Review shout out. Paul says, what browser are you using at Ging Azera Vlog? Paul says, downloaded Ad Muncher. It is free for download. Firefox. Ben says, oh, the werewolf rips off the dude's head. Paul says, and install ad blocker extension. Yeah, you need ad blocker. Robbie says, great movie, American Werewolf in London. Ging says, what do you mean, browser, Paul Phoenix? Because use Google Chrome. That's your browser, Google Chrome. Robbie says, sub Q's. Paul says, download AdBlock Plus for Google Chrome at Ging Azera Vlog. Ging says, I mean, only used Google Chrome. Glenn says, LOL. Paul says, anyone seen Beyond the Gates? The intro theme is amazing, but the film is bad. Beyond the Gates, is that the video game, like the video cassette game that they find in the old video store they work in? I mean, it was okay, but yeah, kind of bad. Q says, not much, Robbie. Just came back from store. Josh says, sorry, Phil, what from Diabolic DVD? It's a new American Werewolf in London Steelbook. So, like, a Steelbook of American Werewolf in London comes with a book and a slipcover and a poster and American Werewolf in London Steelbook from Diabolic DVD. Ging says, oh, thanks, you AdBlock Plus. Thank you. Ricky says, that's my all-time favorite werewolf movie of all time. Ging says, YouTube play button. Paul says, yes, Phil. Robbie says, mine is Silver Bullet. I love Silver Bullet as well. Ben says, did you guys see that all the family videos are closing? Yes, very sad. Announced yesterday. Very, very sad. Paul says, I never watched American Werewolf in Paris. It's not as good as American Werewolf in London by any means, but give it a watch. Walking out the door to head to Philly, but thought I should pop in, show you some support, hit the like button, and say, have a great show. Love you, brother. Be well and kick ass. Those inside movies that you got from Cody, if you finish up with them and don't need them in your collection, I need them. Inside unrated and Inside remake. Important, important. David says, ads are just the price of admission to the Phil's Creepy Vids extravatainment. Extravatainment, I like that. Paul says, but I heard it was terrible. It's all CGI, so if you're okay with kind of bad werewolf CGI, it's not that bad. Josh said, Phil, what do you think of Zombie 3 and Zombie 4 After Death? They're okay. And Zombie 5 Killing Birds. Zombie 5 Killing Birds, I kind of really do like. Just the atmosphere. It's really kind of creepy at that house with all the bird cages and what have you. Part 3 and 4, I'm okay with. I don't really remember them too much. I do have them all on Severin and Vincent. Ricky says Silver Bullet is a great movie too. Gang says YouTube play button again. Quentin says, hey, John. Josh says horror fan Silver Bullet rules. I agree. Ricky says, hey, Q. Ging says, happy Three Kings to all. Paul says the first Howling movie is decent. Haven't seen the sequels. I like the Howling movies. Part 5 of the Howling is fantastic. It's like 10 little Indians in the castle type of whodunit. Who's the werewolf out of them all? It's a really fun movie, Howling 5. Q's reviews, hey Ricky, happy face. David says Silver Bullet is great. Werewolf in Paris was cringeworthy, but still a fun watch. I agree. Paul says Ginger Snaps, love it. Josh says I love Killing Birds. It had style. I agree. Ricky says they need to come out with the Werewolf from London figure. They've came out with a few, but they're very, very expensive. There are a few American Werewolf in London statues, but very expensive. That would be cool, yes. Gang coming in with another Mega Loves shout out. She doesn't just shout you out, she mega loves shouts you out. Paul says Warren Zevon, Werewolves of London. Josh is tending to the cat again. Is that the one that tended to the cat before? Tending to the cat. Next up, number 5. Number 5. We got Chud 2, Bud the Chud. Bud the Chud. This is Chud 2, Bud the Chud. Nothing really to do with the first Chud, even though they steal a lot from Chud number 1 with that brand newly commissioned cover art there. So, I mean, make you think you're getting a normal Chud movie, but it's... Kevin, Steve, and Katie are an inseparable trio of friends doing some extracurricular snooping in the school's science lab when among the test tubes and beakers, they discover a corpse, but before they can say abracadiver, the body disappears, rolling down Route 51 strapped to a gurney. The kids need a spare stiff and fast. What they find is Bud the Chud, a half-dead, decomposing humanoid, the result of a military experiment gone haywire. When Bud sets out on a killing spree, the kids, the army, the police, and the FBI are hot on his trail, trying to save the entire town from becoming Chudified. I really, really like the first Chud. This, to me, is kind of a fluff piece. I mean, it's okay for a watch every once in a while. It's more of a comedy than anything. But it is what it is. I needed it for the Vestron collection, and it is number 5. Glenn says, best werewolf kill Bad Moon when the wolf kills Michael Parr's girlfriend. Yeah. In the tent at the beginning. Got to get that unrated cut of Bad Moon. I love it. I have the unrated new Blu-ray of Bad Moon. Do you have that too, Glenn? Ben says, have you seen The Beast Must Die? It was like Howling 5. They even had a break in the movie for people to guess who the werewolf is before they revealed it. That's hilarious. Ging says, hello, Josh. Josh says, hey, gang. Q says, hell yeah, love the Chud films. The first one more. Paul says, The Wolf in Van Helsing was good. Ging says, thank you, Josh, for the response. Josh says, Chud 2 was dumbass. I feel like it, though, if I see it again. I might like it, though, if I see it again. Paul says, I like that movie. I think it's underrated. Some great effects for the time. Need a remake. Paul says, Van Helsing, I mean. I agree with that. Ging says, hello, Paul. Phoenix, what's the function of ad block app? It blocks your ads. Just does what it says it does. Q says, Bad Moon is badass. Glenn says, only have it on VHS, Phil, so you probably haven't seen the unrated cut. I don't think the VHS is unrated. I might be wrong. But yeah, seek that Blu-ray out. Get the Bad Moon Blu-ray. Ben says, funny that the dog is the protagonist in Bad Moon. Yeah, I love the dog. Hercules, is it? Josh says, yeah, gotta see uncut version of Bad Moon. I think we had the R-rated theatrical version in Australia. David says, lots of werewolf chatter. I need to see Dog Soldiers. My favorite werewolves are the ones in Underworld. Paul says, it will block YouTube ads at Ging. Robbie says, hey, Phil, is that the Michael Myers big bust up there on the pumpkin? No. I do have the big bust on the pumpkin. Let me just go grab it. The NECA light up. Michael Myers on the pumpkin. And it is lighting up inside. Still the same battery in this that came with it. So very impressive that the battery still works in this after all these years. I don't know if it says what year, but I can't tell. And I have number 1672 of 2500. And I love this thing. It's fantastic. The knife does come out. And it is kind of a real metal knife. So pretty kick-ass NECA. The NECA. Ging says, hello, Paul Phoenix. I can play here on my own channel playing ads and be right. Glenn says VHS is rated R. I'll have to check it out. Hey, isn't that Devon Graham? What's up, Andrew? What is up, Andrew? Nocturnal Toothbrush. Yo, Pimp Daddy Slap. Where'd you buy your Chopping Mall Blu-ray? I'm also in Canada, and it's so expensive to get. I bought it at original release, so I paid retail. It might be out of print now, so that's why it's so expensive. I probably got it at Amazon or... Paul says, I only watched the first Underworld movie, but maybe I should watch the rest. Anything with Kate Beckinsale is worth a look. I agree with that. Robbie says, that's sweet, got to get that. Gang says, okay, Paul Phoenix, thank you. Josh says, Sinister, check out dvdcompare.net. It will tell you any release version of any title. Michael says, hey, buddy. What's up, Michael? Glenn says, thanks will do. Paul says, that's cool. Robbie says, thanks for showing. No problem. I try and do what I can for you guys. Josh says, Heroic Waffles, tell everyone of your 88 Films score. Heroic Waffles says, Check out my video for that, Josh. LOL. Ging says, shout out Heroic Waffles. Glenn says, thanks, Josh. Paul says, Phil, did you check that guy's memorabilia on Facebook? I sent you his link. He has some cool stuff. Yes, I sent him a friend request, and he accepted. I haven't messaged him or anything yet, but Michael says, guys, smack that like button for Phil if you didn't. Thank you so much, Mr. Waffles of the heroic nature. Glenn says, I seen Waffles' video. Very nice on that 88. You killed it. Yeah, 88. I'm doing my Vestron today, guys. We're up to Vestron Collector's Edition number 6. This is Lair of the White Worm. This is a crazy flick, but I really, really do like it. It has to do with a worm god. And it's got Hugh Grant in it. Lair of the White Worm. Hugh Grant, Amanda Donoghue, and Catherine Oxenberg star in this mix of heart-stopping horror and campy humor. James Dampton returns to his country castle in England. Legend has it that James' distant ancestor once slayed the local dragon, a monstrous white worm with a fondness for the sweet flesh of virgins. The young lord dismisses the legend as folklore until archaeology student Angus Flint explores James' property and unearths a massive reptilian skull and a pagan snake god's ancient site of worship. When James' virtuous girlfriend, Eve Trent, suddenly disappears, James and Agnes set out to investigate the foreboding cavern, said to be the worm's lair, where a centuries-old mystery begins to uncoil. Lair of the White Worm, crazy, crazy flick. But if you like crazy, crazy flicks and you like Hugh Grant, check out that. That is number 6 in the Vestron Collectors series. Michael loves my shirt. Thank you so much. Motel Hell. It takes all kinds of critters to make Farmer Vincent's fritters. David says, Kate Beckinsale. Kate Beckinsale. Ging says, hello everyone. Don't forget to smashing the like to our gorgeous and awesome host. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ging, for calling me gorgeous and awesome. I don't know how gorgeous I am, but Ging says, YouTube play button. Josh says, Heroic Waffles correction from earlier. I have 19 of 88 film slasher titles, not 15. Heavy Metal says, Halloween Kills, Michael Myers. Yeah, can't wait. Ging says, shout out 19 million eyes on live stream. Happy Three Kings to all. Josh says, Motel Hell, got to pick up a good Blu-ray release of that. Yeah, it's new steelbook of that is out now, too. Motel Hell steelbook, which I still don't have. Let's see if that's available still. Motel Hell steelbook. Motel Hell steelbook is still available on Shout Factory's website. Paul says, Motel Hell comic. Paul says, I showed you that, Phil, I think. Yes, you did. Baron7, love your room. It's amazing. Thank you so much. Got an empty shelf there. Just switched a few things around, making room, moved some Blu-rays out to the other room. Got all my new Toonie Terrors there in a row, and the rest of the room is kind of like all a little menagerie of everything. But thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Baron7, you get a big thumbs up from me as well. Ging says, Phils, I am sleepy now. It's 12 in the evening here in the Philippines. Nice to meet you here, everyone. Have a good sleep, gang. Get some sleep. You take care of yourself. Josh says, take care, gang. Paul says, an empty shelf reveals a secret switch to a hidden room with more memorabilia. Shh. You're not supposed to tell anybody that. Josh says, Phil, show me your phantasm sphere. Sphere. Phil, show me your phantasm sphere. Tell us about it too. It's a phantasm sphere. It came with the Phantasm Sphere ball set. All 5 Blu-rays and what have you. Comes with the blades there. Comes with a little base. If you get it too close to your head, it does that. So you don't want that to happen. Very reflective. As you can see, it does get kind of smeary, but if you take a, microfiber cloth to it, it comes out mirror-like finish and is pretty cool, pretty cool. Came with that, I think it's like the, who put that out? Came with this Phantasm collection by, doesn't even say who it's by. I have no idea. But yeah, it's a Phantasm sphere. There is an unboxing on my channel of that if you type in Phil's Creepy Phantasm. Search YouTube for Phil's Creepy Phantasm. I'm sure you'll find the unboxing there. Ging says, thank you, Phils. Happy 3 Kings. Glenn says, gotta run. Take care, folks. Phil, as always, I appreciate you holding me hostage. Peace out to you as well, Glenn. Thank you so much. Paul says, I like that. Robbie says, that's crazy looking, LOL. David says, listening to the video while working. Thought maybe The Grudge started playing. Robbie says, haha. Josh says, I have both Arrow and Welgo sphere sets. Yours is Welgo Blu-ray sphere set. Yeah. And I have the Welgo USA black box case. Oh, let me just get it. I don't even know where it is. This big box set was Welgo USA, the first release, and then the next year they put out the Sphere set. But that is the Phantasm collection. Welgo USA comes with a book and posters and what have you. Josh says, take our Glenn. Heavy Metal says, funny. Paul says, was the text hologram? Yeah, it's kind of like holographic, silvery, metallic print on the Welgo USA black box. It's a good one, yeah. I was kind of on the fence about the Sphere set because I already had that Well-Go USA box set, but then I really wanted a Sphere, so I thought might as well pull the trigger on that one too. Josh, being right back again. The cat. Something about the cat. All right, moving right along. Randy Quaid. Who is he in the vacation movies? Uncle Buck? Not Uncle Buck. Uncle... He's Uncle somebody. And it says, meet the Lammies. Dad's got a great job. Mom has all the modern conveniences a happy homemaker could ask for. And 10-year-old Michael has neat new friends and 2 parents who kill with kindness. They're the all-American family, or are they? Michael can't figure out why his family serves leftovers every night. Leftovers? Wait, well, what were they before they were leftovers? Questions young Michael. Leftovers to be, smiles Dad. Dad's bringing home the bacon and a whole lot more. Michael's parents are getting away with murder, making home where the horror is. Uncle Eddie. Thank you, Anthony, with his white dress shoes. So this is Parents, a quirky little movie, but I really like it. Someone was asking me about this Psycho box set. This thing is the Psycho Legacy Collection Deluxe Edition. So it comes with 8 discs. So you have Psycho, Psycho 2, Psycho 3, Psycho 4, Psycho German Uncut, Psycho Remake, Psycho Legacy documentary, Bates Motel TV made for TV movie with Bud Cort, and then 7852, the shower documentary. So it comes with all that, comes with a Do Not Disturb, comes with posters for each of the movies, and it is a glorious, glorious thing. A glorious, glorious box set of everything Psycho. And it just goes right there. Paul says that's a good one. Josh says be right back. Paul says what's the Psycho box? Paul says is that a figure? Nope. Q says Cousin Eddie. Paul says I've seen this. Paul says the opening with the cheesy music. Yep. Q says cousin. Anthony says uncle. Eddie with his white dress shoes. Paul says I watched it years ago. Parents. Heavy metal retracts a message. Paul says, oh, cool. Robbie says, that's very cool, Phil. Anthony says, I love that Psycho cover. Paul says, I've seen all the Psycho movies, didn't watch Bates Motel. The Bates Motel in the box set is the made-for-TV movie from the 80s with Bud Cort. Paul says, does anyone like the sequel better than the original? No. Paul says, I never watched the remake with Vince Vaughn. You should watch it at least once. Heavy Metal says, I love that Psycho cover. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Robbie Richards has to go. Awesome stream as always. Catch you on the next stream or video. Have a blessed high 10 day, guys. Thank you so much for swinging by there, Robbie. I appreciate your presence. Horror Freak London has arrived. Hey, Phil, glad I caught you. That Psycho box looks well nice. Thank you, Horror Freak London. You are awesome. Just let me check one thing here, guys. Q's Review says, gotta go. I will watch the replay. Take care all. Watch Bates Motel. It's freaking awesome. Paul says, any Dexter fans? Nope, never watched Dexter. So we got one more movie, I think, and then a quick intermission. And this is one of my all-time favorite movies. It's Canadian. I saw it in theaters in '86 when I was 13 years old and have loved it ever since. It is The Gate, starring a very young Stephen Dorff. And it says, when best friends Glenn and Terry stumble across a mysterious crystalline rock in Glenn's backyard, they quickly dig up the newly sodden lawn, searching for more precious stones. Instead, they unearth the Gate, an underground chamber of terrifying demonic evil. The teenagers soon understand what evil they've released as they are overcome with an assortment of horrific experiences with fiendish followers invading suburbia. It's now up to the kids to discover the secret that can lock the gate forever if it's not too late. I love The Gate. I actually just got a Minion in the recent Freight Crate, which I will show you right now. This is done by Serial Resin Co., and it is the Gate Minion. If you can see him there. Serial Resin Co., the Gate Minion. Love, love, love it. Q says, before I go watch Dexter, LOL, it's worth it. Ricky says, I subscribe to your channel, Horror Freak. Horror Freak says that Leviathan stuff scared the crap out of me for years. Oh, Levitation. Yeah, Levitation. Ricky says, I'm not a fan of the show Dexter. Heavy Metal says, I'm not a fan of the show Dexter. Yeah, I was just never really into Dexter. I don't know. I never really was into it. Will I ever say, hey, I think I'll watch Dexter? Probably not. But you never know. Paul says, I like Dexter. Hyped for the new season. They're still making new Dexter? I thought it was done long ago. Or are they revamping it? They're restarting it? What are they doing? Nobody's made my Bates Motel ring bell ring today yet. But that's okay. And it's time for intermission, so keep yourselves company. And I'm just going to give you good old Pennywise to watch over you guys and make sure that you do what you're supposed to do. And I'm going to take a quick intermission, guys. I will be back in 3 minutes and 148 seconds. Talk amongst yourselves. Hola, horror fans. Hola, hola, hola. Paul says, I like Dexter. Hype for the new season. A new series coming out. Limited. Horror fan Ricky says, I wish they would make a new Tales of the Crypt show. I agree with that, as long as they did it good. David says, I have a hard time keeping interest in long-running series. Yeah. Horror Freak London, thanks for subscribing, Horror fan Ricky. Paul says, I don't watch a lot of shows. Horror metal, heavy metal says, YouTube play button. Paul says, mostly crime stuff. Ricky says, you're welcome, Horror Freak. Horror Freak says, let's see how many times we can say the word Dexter while he's gone. Paul says, crime. Ricky says, Dexter, LOL. Horror Freak London says, LOL. Paul shared a link. I love this theme. Ricky says, I'm waiting for Phil's Pennywise to say, hello, Georgie. You want your boat back, Georgie? Georgie, meet Pennywise. Pennywise, meet Georgie. There. Now we're not strangers anymore. Paul says, those lines just ruined it. Paul says, would have been better without them. Paul says, should have just kept the old look a little updated. Horror fan Ricky says, yeah, I agree with you, Paul. Paul says, and the overbite looks like a rabbit. LOL, Paul. Fulci fan says, who likes Tim Curry better? Me. Ricky says Tim Curry was the best Pennywise. I agree with that. Josh says, horror fan, absolutely. Geek Out Cinema. Steven says, Phil. What's up, Steven? Welcome to the live stream. Paul says, they making a new Tales from the Crypt. It was scheduled due to rights issues, but I'm kind of glad because M. Night Shyamalan was behind it. It probably would have been bad, Paul says, and they were not going to use the Crypt Keeper. Paul says, what's the point? What is the point? Next up, Wishmaster Collection. So you got all 4 Wishmasters, and it says magically powerful and supernaturally evil. The ancient entity known as the Jinn can grant you wishes, can grant your wildest dreams and unleash your darkest nightmares. Follow the Wishmaster's blood-curdling quest to devour souls and plunge the world into eternal damnation in this fright-filled collection of 4 horror fantasy favorites. I am a good reader. Just the red printing on the black, I have a hard time seeing the words. The Wishmaster Collection, and that is number 9. We're halfway there, guys. Halfway there. Steven says, I just hit 900 subs. I will be posting another giveaway soon. What should the prize be? Anyone have any suggestions? I have no idea. Just give away what you can. Michael says, love Wishmaster. I agree with that. Paul says, trailer for Tales from the Crypt reboot. Paul dropped a trailer. I'll check it out on the replay. Josh says, geek out, something that you only can give away and you can part with. I agree with that. Next up, The Unholy. The Unholy. This is number 10. In New Orleans, a city with a dark underside of black magic and satanic worship, 2 priests have been brutally murdered at St. Agnes Church. Now the unholy reigns, only to be challenged by the priest of the purest of mortal souls, Father Michael Believed to be spiritually blessed, is appointed to the ungodly perish. Is he really the chosen one, strong enough to fight such ravishing temptation, such raw evil? Or is he simply the third to die? Some say Father Michael hasn't got a prayer. The unholy. Paul says, which was one when it was the guy is like, I wish my lawyer would go F himself, and his body twists and starts effing himself. Yeah, I like that. Paul says, hilarious. Michael says, hey man, is it me, but Vestron has slow releases? Yeah, they do. Ricky says, yeah, but Paul, the trailer is from 2017. Sean Sr., welcome, welcome, welcome. He says, hello, everyone, wave. Paul says, I know I said it earlier, shelved due to rights issues, but they released that trailer. Josh says, have you showed us Slaughter High Vestron Blu-ray yet, Phil? No, I haven't. Josh says, hey, Sean. Horror fan Ricky says, hey, Sean, wave. Happy face. But yeah, Slaughter High is one of my favorite releases from the Vestron collection. It's coming up after this one. This is the Warlock collection. Julian Sands starring in part 1 and 2. Some other guys starring in part 3. And it says, an evil warlock flees from the 17th to the 20th century and works to unleash Satan upon the world in these 3 supernaturally chilling films. The Warlock collection. I really, really like Warlock. I like Warlock Part 2, and Warlock Part 3 I have only seen maybe 1 or 2 times, so I don't really remember it a lot. But the Warlock films, for what they are kind of fun. Steven says, good answer, Josh. I'll think of something. I tend to give away autographs, but thinking of eventually giving away a horror figure and Funkos. All right, whoever asked about this one, Josh, I think maybe. Yeah, Josh, this is Slaughter High, the unrated cut, which is the only way to watch Slaughter High, the unrated cut. Marty majored in cutting classmates. And it says, there's horror in the halls, lynching in the lunchroom, murder in the metal shop. Welcome to Slaughter High, where the students are dying to get out. In high school, Marty was the kid all the students teased, taunted, and tortured mercilessly. One day, things went too far. One of their jokes backfired, disfiguring Marty for life. Now, 5 years later, Marty has arranged a special reunion for all his high school friends. The prom queen, the jock, the class clown, the rebel, and a few select others have been invited, and it's going to be a gala of gore. Slaughter High. Excellent, excellent flick, in my opinion. I love, love, love this movie. And just so glad for Vestron to put out the unrated cut. Comes with audio commentary, featurettes, trailers, alternate title sequence, yada, yada, yada. That is Slaughter High. Josh says Warlock 2 was brilliant. Sands did a great performance in that one. I agree. Ricky says, have you heard of the band Warlock? Awesome band in the 80s and 90s. I believe so. Paul says so many high school horror movies in the 80s. I agree with that. Michael says love me some Slaughter High. I agree with that. Josh says, I will be getting the Blu-ray of Slaughter eventually. I already have 3 DVD releases, Arrow, a USA one, and one from France. Paul says, graduation day. There's also Splatter University, Return to Horror High Return to Horror High. I think George Clooney's in that. Yeah, tons of high school or college or university themed horror movies for sure. Next up, a weird movie called Gothic. This movie is just weird. Conjure up your deepest, darkest fear. Now call that fear to life. It is Gothic. And it says in yellow, so I can read it good. 1816, a sprawling villa in Switzerland is the setting for the night of the haunted summer when 5 famous friends gather around an ancient skull to conjure up their darkest fears. Poets Lord Byron and Percy Shelley, Shelley's fiancée, Mary Godwin, Mary's stepsister, Claire Claremont, and Byron's friend, Dr. John Pilidori, spend a hallucinogenic evening confronting their fears in an orgiastic frenzy of shock lunacy that later inspired Mary Shelley to write the classic Frankenstein and Dr. Pilidori to pen The Vampire, which became the basis for the creation of Dracula. One fateful evening, 2 legends were born in Ken Russell's Gothic. Gothic. Josh says, I think I have to get another later pressed release of Splatter University off 88 Films. I think my earlier release is cut. Paul says Suburban Gothic. Paul says with Kat Dennings, Suburban Gothic. Suburban Gothic. I've never seen that, I don't think, but I'm taking a screenshot. Oh, maybe I have seen that. Anything with Kat Dennings is worth a look. Just before I go to the next one, I just want to tell you guys how much I love you guys, and thanks for keeping me sane during the lockdown. I'm out of work, stuck at home, and knowing that I can go live on YouTube and talk to some fellow horror fans really means a lot to me. So you guys are the best. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys. Will, I love you. Josh, Paul, Ben, I love you guys. Heroic Waffles, love you guys. Class of 1999. The ultimate teaching machine out of control. The time is the future, and youth gang violence is so high that the areas around some schools has become free fire zones into which not even the police will venture. When Miles Langford, the principal of Kennedy High School, decides to take his school back from the gangs, robotics specialist Dr. Robert Forster provides tactical education units. These human-like androids have been programmed to teach and are supplied with weapons to handle discipline problems. These kids will get a lesson in staying alive. Class of 1999. Josh says, was Gothic any good? Yes, it's good. Just a very, very odd little movie. Ben says, has the CSI guy too. Wild Will from Chesterfield. Hello all Phil fans. Always working during the live chat. Gotta pay for my mom, my movies. LOL. Have a super fantastic day, brother. Phil, thank you so much, Will. I appreciate you. Josh says, no problem, Phil. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Paul says, I was in love with Kat Dennings for a long time. Josh says 99 was a lot different than 84. Mark Lester directed them both. Yeah, no robots in the 84 one, I don't think. Gotta let the cat in, Josh says. That dang cat today, Josh. You've been right back like 87 times, letting that cat out and in. Who let the cat in? Josh, 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 Josh. Who let the cat in? Josh, 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 Josh. Beyond Reanimator, part 3 of the Reanimator trilogy, and probably my least favorite of the 3, but I still like it because it is a Reanimator movie. After causing the Miskatonic University massacre, Dr. Herbert West has been serving a prison sentence for the past 14 years. Far from overcoming his scientific obsession with bringing dead organisms back to life, he has no choice but to continue his experiments on the only specimens that he can find in his cell, rats. When Howard, a new young doctor, comes to work as the prison MD and requests his assistance, Dr. West discovers the young protege has something he left behind 14 years ago. That is Beyond Reanimator. Jeffrey Combs returns as Dr. Herbert West. Like I said, my least favorite of the series, but still. Paul says The Video Dead 1987, one of my all-time favorite zombie movies from the 80s. I would have been 14 years old when that came out. Used to rent it on VHS all the time. I have the double feature Blu-ray with Terror Vision, and I have the t-shirt, and I also have a Video Dead pin. But yes, love the Video Dead. I wish it would get a standalone Blu-ray for it with some more bells and whistles, but what can you do? Paul says Beyond Reanimator is so bad it's good. Josh says the Blu-ray of the Video Dead has a great transfer. Yes, it does. I just wish it wasn't in a 2-feature, a double feature. I wish it was its own thing. At least the Blu-ray I have of it is the Video Dead and Terror Vision. Sonic Coog Vlogs, can you give me a tour? Can't really, but there's the wall with lots of nice, cool things. And then this wall with more cool things. And then up here is where I am looking at Cool Sam. Quick little room tour with the little web camera. There you go. My webcam gets hot. Paul says, check this vid. Michael says, Phil, love your collection. Thanks, man. I love your stuff too, Michael. You got some good stuff. Great movie merch collection. Thanks so much, Josh. I appreciate you. Michael says, thanks, buddy. Hey, I give credit where credit is due. Josh says, great movie merch collection. Thank you so much. Michael says, thanks, buddy. Paul says, The Stuff, 1985. Yeah, I like The Stuff. I have a little stuff resin piece of the container with the stuff leaking out. And I have the Arrow Blu-ray. Michael says, are you buying the 4K They Live in Prince of Darkness Shout Factory? Probably not. David says, I want to visit Phil someday and see his collection firsthand. You're more than welcome. Sharaboom87, Phil's Creepy Videos. Happy New Year, host and everyone in the house. Thank you so much, Shiraboom87. Everyone go check their channel out. New to the chat. I'm already subscribed to you. But welcome to the live stream. Yeah. Josh said, did anyone here buy bootleg cult horror videos that circulated in the 90s? I did not. Steven said, so Phil, how have you been doing? It feels like I haven't talked to you in forever. Any cool recent pickups? Happy New Year. Yeah, I just got the Toonie Terrors Wave 4 yesterday. That video is live on my channel now. Miss you too, bro. I will have to give you a video call at some point. Paul says, be careful, you might become a part of his collection at David's Horror. Paul says he collects people. David says, zombie woman, man. I don't know those signs. H.P. Lovecraft's Dagon. I love this movie. I don't care what anyone else says about it. I'm a big fan of H.P. Lovecraft's Dagon. Based on a short story by H.P. Lovecraft, an undisputed master of macabre, Dagon follows Paul and his girlfriend Barbara as they celebrate the success of their new company on a yacht off the coast of Spain. When a sudden storm smashes their boat on a reef, Barbara and Paul swim to the nearest town for help. The decrepit fishing village of Imboca at first seems to be deserted, but unblinking eyes peer out from boarded-up houses. The strange inhabitants offer little help to the stranded couple. By nightfall, Barbara is missing and Paul finds himself pursued by the entire town, but a town of what? Fish people! That is H.P. Lovecraft's Dagon. I love that movie. Secret button on shelf reveals secret room with displays like the Collector 2. Ooh. Steven says, yes, we got a video call again soon. Michael says, Shout Factory and Vestron are my next journey of collecting. That's awesome. Dagon is underrated. I agree with that. Josh says Dagon was really brutal by what I can remember. Yes, it is. Paul says The Void was good. Recent Lovecraft-inspired movie. Love The Void. I have it on Blu-ray. A lot of the practical effects in The Void reminded me of The Thing. Paul says good practical effects in that. Great minds think alike. Steven says, David's Horror, just subscribe to your channel. David's Horror, thanks Geek Out Cinema. Yes, David puts out good content. Some good content on everybody's channel. Next up, Stephen King's Maximum Overdrive. Maximum Overdrive with Emilio Estevez. Emilio Estevez. Get ready for the ultimate battle of man versus bloodthirsty machine in this terrifying Stephen King classic. For 3 horrifying days, the Earth passes through the tail of a mysterious comet. The skies glow an eerie green as humanity waits to see what the fallout will be. But what they imagine is nothing like the nightmare they find. The comet's magnetic fields cause all the machines on Earth to suddenly come to life and terrorize their human creators in a horrific killing spree. Now it's up to a small group of people trapped in a desolate truck stop to defeat the killer machines or be killed by them. Kill, kill, kill! Come to the Superdome this Sunday where we'll see Bigfoot. I tried to read that like those old monster truck ads. You'll see Dino Car, a car that transforms and eats other cars at the Superdome. I don't know what I'm doing. David returned the favor. Paul says he directed this movie. Paul says King. David says David puts out that pregnant pause. David says LOL. Paul says he should stick to writing. Sean Sr. says cry laughing. Josh says they need an uncut restored release of Maximum with the complete steamroller kid death scene. I agree with that. Sean says love Maximum Overdrive, awesome movie. Horfan Ricky says I subscribed to Geek Out's channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's documented that Stephen King was high on coke pretty much the whole time that he directed Maximum Overdrive. He's admitted that he was high on coke. I don't know personally if that's true or not, but it's just a well-known fact. King was coked out of his mind when he directed Maximum Overdrive. Horror fan Ricky says, I have both Toonie, Terror, Pennywise. So do I. That's awesome. The last two guys, first up, Shivers by David Cronenberg. A sex virus. Being terrified is just the beginning. Kind of reminds me of the cover for Slither. Those slugs there. Excusez-moi. A cult favorite, Shivers is acclaimed filmmaker David Cronenberg's controversial feature-length debut when the residents of a luxury apartment complex outside Montreal are infiltrated by parasites and transformed into violent, sex-crazed maniacs. It's up to Dr. Roger St. Luc to contain the outbreak from spreading to the city at large in a film that scares and shocks us because it's so cleverly made. Shivers. That is Shivers. Steven says, thanks for the love. Subscribing back. Appreciate it. Hey, everyone go check out Geek Out Cinema. He's got good interviews and everything cool on his channel. Josh says, I only have Tim Curry, Toonie Terror. Steven says, I still need to watch The Void and Maximum Overdrive. Geek Out, you will love Maximum Overdrive. Night Fright Talk Show has arrived. He says, happy face, thumbs up. This makes 23, LOL. Horror fan Ricky. Oh, horror fan Night Fright Talk Show. Thank you for the thumbs up. 23 thumbs up on my live stream. If you have yet to hit the thumbs up. Do it now. I want to see it go up to at least 24. I know one of you guys probably hasn't hit the thumbs up button yet, but let's see it go from 23 to 24 right now. 24 thumbs ups. Thank you so much, whoever just hit that like button. I appreciate you immensely. I want to buy Jason and Michael Tooney Terror. Yes, they are good ones. Paul says I still haven't seen Cosmopolis and Maps to the Stars. I've seen all his other movies. David says I have Shivers. I need to give it a viewing. Josh says it was really bad ending at the end of Shivers. Sonic Cog Vlogs. Me. Oh, it was you. Thanks for the thumbs up. Vlogs. Paul says Cronenberg. Yeah, I like his son's new flick. What's it called? His son's new flick. Possessor. David Cronenberg's son. Possessor. Sonic Coog Vlogs. What's the scariest movie? I don't know. Nothing really scares me. David says no spoilers. Hot. Josh says Scott. Sonic Coog Vlogs. What's the scariest movie? My favorite horror movie is The Exorcist. It doesn't really scare me, but I can see how it might scare others. Paul says, still haven't seen Antiviral. Sonic Coog Vlog says Saw. Paul says, still. Sonic Coogs, it's Saw. It's scary. Blah. Exorcist is in my top 5. The Exorcist still very scary. I agree with that. Next up, Little Monsters. Little Monsters. And it says, Little Monsters is the story of Brian, a 6th grader who recently moved to a new town and made friends with Maurice, the monster who lives under Brian's bed. Maurice introduces Brian to the world of monsters where junk food rules, adults aren't allowed, and the fun and games never end. But when Brian's brother is kidnapped, it's time for Brian to get serious and fight the monsters on their turf in this zany cult favorite. Little Monsters, Fred Savage. There you go right there. That is all 19 Vestron Collector's Editions. Sonic Coog Vlogs. I don't know what happened there. A lot of blah and ah. So I did a little timeout on you. Maybe just to get a little less blah and ahs, if that makes sense. Josh says, Exorcist never bothered me. Have not had much to do with that film. Ant says Little Monsters was a good flick. Josh says it was a classic. Paul says 300 seconds of death for spammers. David says, my wife would argue Evil Dead Remake is the scariest. I love it. Anthony says, Evil Dead Remake was creepy. I actually really love the Evil Dead Remake. I actually have a copy right here on Steelbook that's sitting on the bed waiting to get shipped out at some point. I did pack up Mark's box today, so it is pretty much ready to go. And once I get Mark's shipped out, The Evil Dead is probably next on my agenda. Paul says the remake is great. Wickedy Split. Phil, my man. What's up, Wickedy? Good to have you here. 2021 is here finally. Yes, it is. Welcome, welcome, welcome to 2021. Glad you made it, Wickedy Split. Are you still making YouTube videos, Mr. Wickedy? Your last video was 3 months ago. Three months ago. You have Evil Clutch coming to you, Phil. An extremely gruesome Evil Dead ripoff that has some dark and disturbing scenes. Ooh, I'm excited. Wickedy Split. I am actually taking a vacation from YouTube, my friend. That's fair. Steven says, Phil, are you selling any Blu-rays or just trading? Yumi's Roblox. I don't know what you're thinking, spamming, but like, why are you spamming me? Quit spamming, people. Why are people spamming? You don't want to make me cut out early, guys. Josh says, what's going on? Paul says he seems to find it hilarious. Yeah, I guess so. Probably a child. Nothing better to do with their time. Probably being homeschooled. These people have anything better to do? No, they don't. David's Horror reported him. He's been reported. He'll just go make a new channel and do it again. Ricky, what the fuck just happened? Just spammers. Yeah, first one that sees the BLA. Good job, David. Good job, Paul. Why the spammer's gotta come spam me? It's a hacker. No room for these here. Yep, no room. Anyways, it's 12:45 anyways, and I need to get on with my day. So on that note, I'm going to sign off. If you like great horror content like you've seen here today, make sure to subscribe to my channel. If you like this video, click the thumbs up, click the bell notification to be notified every time I go live or drop a new video. And thanks everyone in the chat. You guys are awesome. Enigma 1999. Hello, I'm new. I came from Italy. That's awesome. See you guys on the next one. That's my time. Thanks for yours. Have a great one, guys. Peace.